हेलो। हाँ रोहन, अब तक भी कोई ज्वाइन नहीं हुआ है। लेकिन अब तक तो कोई नहीं आया। कोई इशू? हाँ, एक बार तुम ज्वाइन करके देखो तो। ठीक है। इशू आ रहा है। ओ, लेकिन इशू आ रहा है। ये लिंक ज्वाइन करके रख चुका हूँ मैं, लेकिन अब खुल नहीं रहा।
क्या प्रॉब्लम आ रहा?
देखता हूँ।
कोड भेज देना बच्चों को यार।
कौन सा?
वो वाला क्लासरूम को, क्लासरूम खोलो।
क्लासरूम खोला है मैंने।
क्लासरूम खोलना है, ये कोड कॉपी कर, तुम पेस्ट मार दो व्हाट्सएप में, भेज दो।
कॉल कर लेता हूँ।
दिख तो रहा है बच्चों को।
कहाँ दिख रहा है बच्चे? एक भी तो नहीं आया।
ये स्पीकर नहीं वापर रहा है कोई? अच्छा, हेडफोन है क्या तेरे पास?
कड़ू सर के साथ भी यही हुआ।
6 है मैं क्या?
हम्म। इसका तो कॉल ही नहीं चल रहा।
बच्चे क्या बोला, लिंक नहीं मिल रही है?
वो वोल्टेज लिंक पे कनेक्टेड।
ये डिस्कशन है, यहाँ पे पेस्ट मारना वाला कोड।
कौन सा डिवीजन है? हाँ रोहन, ज्वाइन कर लिया मैंने, ठीक है। लेकिन वो जो लिंक थी वो मुझे समझ में नहीं आया। हाँ, मैंने एक 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 काम करता हूँ मैं, ये जो है ENC, ये लिंक जो मेल आया उसमें थी क्या? अच्छा ठीक है, देखते हैं, ठीक है। ओके। तो दोनों जगह ज्वाइन है।
तो वो लिंक इधर भेज दे, यहाँ ज्वाइन करो, इधर से भेज दे। लोगों ने कैसे,
तो यहाँ कैसे ज्वाइन हुआ है?
वही बोला, उधर से इधर पेस्ट मार के भेज दे, ज्वाइन करो। वही मेल की लिंक इधर कॉपी कर दे।
यूनिक, अरे बंद हो गया ना। हेलो, हेलो।
यस सर।
ओके, वो जो अभी मैंने मैसेज पेस्ट किया उस लिंक को ज्वाइन करो, क्योंकि अटेंडेंस का इशू आएगा अदरवाइज। हेलो, इस लिंक को लेफ्ट करो और जो मैंने लिंक भेजी है मैसेज में उसमें ज्वाइन करो प्लीज। ओके, so we start. Hello.
Yes sir.
Okay, I'm audible.
Yes sir.
So this is estimating and costing. Code is CET 355 and it consists of practical also. And practically CET 355. Now, in this subject, this is very important subject as compared to the actual construction process is considered. So this estimating and costing, it is important as far as construction process is considered. As far as construction process is considered. Now in this subject, what exactly we do? In this subject, what exactly we do? We are going to do what amount of money you required for the construction of particular project. So in this case, we are going to determine the quantities. Now, quantities means what? Quantities means, suppose excavation, Suppose PCC, RCC of say footing, beam, column, slab, etc. That is the quantity of RCC for footing, beam, column, slab, etc. Excavation PCC. Then we also calculate brickwork. We also calculate brickwork. How much amount of brickwork required in your particular project? Generally, we consider residential building, but whatever the fundamentals, whatever the things we are going to analyze in this estimating and costing subject, those fundamentals are to be applicable in any type of building, whether it is a public building, whether it is an institutional building, whether it is a residential building, whether it is an industrial building or whatever. So same fundamentals are to be utilized. So only thing is the building is changed, plan is changed, section is changed, planning is changed. That's only the different, but the concept behind it, that will be remain same. So excavation, PCC, brickwork, then other internal plaster, etc. There are so many things that we are going to calculate. Now, these things are called as items to be executed. Items to be executed means whatever the things that will be required in that particular project, and those things are called as items, and we are necessary to quantify them. We are necessary to quantify them. Means how much amount of concrete you required, how much amount of bricks you required, how much amount of plastering you required. All this quantification are covered under this part that is called as estimating. That is called as estimating. Now, what exactly the costing is? Now, once you get the quantities, then that quantity is multiplied by the rate. That quantity is multiplied by the rate. Then you are getting the amount of that particular item. So costing is nothing but it is quantity multiplied by rate. Quantity multiplied by the rate. Now, when we are going to say this quantity we are getting through this estimate rate, we are getting to one more process. That process is called as rate analysis. That process is basically called as rate analysis. So in basic estimating and costing, we are going to deal with estimates, that is the quantification, and second one is determination of rate. So these are the two things. Now there is one more aspect behind this. When we say there is a determination of rate through rate analysis, government has given some guidelines. And those guidelines are called as SSR. SSR. Now this SSR means state schedule rate. This SSR means state schedule rate. So what exactly in this state schedule rate? In this state schedule rate, there is a rate of particular item. If you can say excavation, then the rate of excavation. Now when we can say the rate of excavation, then excavation may be in sandy soil, excavation may be in clay soil, excavation may be in hard rock, excavation may be in murum, excavation may be in soft rock, anything. So whatever the efforts, whatever the labor, whatever the machineries, whatever the output you are getting through that excavation, it is not going to be same, because in case of hard rock you required more effort, so in that case rate will be more. In case of soft rock, effort are less, so the rate is less. So again, the rate of item is depend upon this specification. That is again important part of this estimating and costing. So this rate is depend upon this specification. The rate is depend upon the specification. For example, take a simple example. If you want to have a building to be constructed, and in that building, for masonry point of view, either you can use red bricks, either you can use AAC block, either you can use cement concrete bricks, either you can use flash bricks. So the rate of red bricks is something different, rate of AAC block is something different, rate of that concrete block is going to be different. So though it is utilized in the brick work, that is the wall construction, but the material is changes, so that material definition is covered under this specification, So this is the brief idea about what we are going to do in this syllabus. Now, understand the exam or the syllabus pattern. So first one is, there are total 5 units. There are total 5 units are there. Now in this case, unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of this 5 unit number 1 and unit number 2, total weightage is 30 marks. Total weightage is 30 marks. And the rest of these 3 units, the total weightage is again 30 marks. Weightage is 30 marks. So when this weightage is 30 marks, it means that unit number 1, 15 marks, unit number 2, 15 marks. Means out of your 60 marks, 30 marks is only for unit number 1 and unit number 2. This is the note given in your syllabus. Then unit number 3, 10 marks, 4, 10 marks, and fifth one, again 10 marks. Now this 5 units is 70% part is mathematical, 70% part is mathematical, and 30% part is theory. 30% part is theory. So 70% part is math, that is the calculations, simple calculation, L into B into H, and in that way. So simple mathematical calculations are there, and 30% is the theoretical part. 30% is the theoretical part. So this is the distribution. 30% mathematical parts is there in your syllabus. 70% mathematical part, 30% theory part. These 2 units are essential because the weightage is 30 marks. Next 3 unit, per unit 10 marks weightage, and total marks is 60. Total marks is 60. So this is the marks distribution. Second, again, in case of that assessment point of view, if you contact your previous batch, then my assessment is, we make a group. There are total 8 to 10 groups are there in your batch, and each group life project is given. Each group life project is given. This is, I am talking about the assessment. That is teacher assessment. So life project is given. Life project is given means working drawings are given. Now working drawing is consist of what? Working drawings is consist of architectural, structural drawings, and structural drawings. Now architectural drawings are provided, structural drawings are provided to your group, and now your group has to calculate. Around 30 numbers of items used in civil construction. That list is also provided to you. So this life project assessment, is approximately 15 marks. Till that, what should be the weightage of teacher assessment? It's to be finalized, but still around 10 to 15 marks is given to this. Now what you have to submit? You have to submit one report. And secondly, at the time of preparation of that report, per a week, means say after 2 to 3 days or 4 days, each group has to visit and let me know what exactly work you have to done in previous 4 to 5 days. And according to that, we will take the Viva. how that quantity is calculated, what parameters you consider, how you are going to analyze that parameter, and so on. So this is the teacher assessment. If teacher assessment is for 30 marks, then we will again decide what should be our scope. In that case, we may conduct a test. One plan is again given to you and you have to calculate the quantities. So this is about the teacher assessment. Yet this live project is group wise. Each group is consist of 8 to 10 people. And only single report is submitted. Only report you have to submit it. And secondly, that report or that quantification of items in Excel sheet. So there is no any kind of manual calculation, only Excel sheet calculations are to be permitted. So this report, there is an Excel report, and only one report is submitted for that particular batch. Okay, but it is very useful. Many points are to be clear through this assessment. Okay. Now, the important part is at the end of this syllabus, what you are going to understand or analyze. So, course outcome. Course outcome. There are 4 outcomes are there. There are 4 outcomes are there. Now, in this case, first outcome is related to estimate. First outcome is related to estimate. Second outcome, estimate and its method. Second estimate is detail estimate. Detail estimate. Third outcome is related to specification. Third outcome is related to specification and rate analysis. Related to specification and rate analysis. And last estimate is related to contract and tender. And last is related to contract and tender. So these are the broad keywords in your course outcome. I assured you, once again, if you attend all the classes, and do each and every exercise, then at the end of the syllabus, you are able to prepare. At the end of syllabus, at the end of syllabus, you are capable to do estimate of any building. You are capable to do estimate of any building. This is, I will assure you, at the end of the syllabus. That is the basic aim of this subject. Secondly, in your upcoming, what we can say, educational life, no ever this subject is repeated. And secondly, at any point, at any construction process, estimates and its costing is essential part of construction process. Process. So try to understand this estimate. Try to understand the methodology behind that estimate. Try to understand how different number of items are to be calculated in that estimate. What should be the methodology? And in your life project, do the quantification on Excel, because unless and until you utilize that Excel sheet, you're not what we can say speed up your work. So to speed up your work, it is necessary that you should work that particular life project on the Excel. Okay. Now, in case of theoretical, in case of examination T1, T2, and your end semester examination, manual calculations are there, but actually those manual calculations are to be turnout are to be considered in case of your live project on Excel basis. So I will assure you at the end of this syllabus, you are able to do the estimate. I'm saying estimate, it means quantification plus rate. Quantification and rate means if you have your plan section elevation, structural drawing, architectural drawing, then you are capable to do the estimate number of items involved in that particular project. And you can able to tell the client that this is the cost required for the completion of work. This is the basic aim of this subject, and we will fulfill the same. Clear? Now, this is first. Second, in this syllabus, you are also able to get different types of contract, different types of contract, different types of contract. Then, how to float tender. What is the process to float the tender? What are the different types of tender? So, what are the different types of tender? What are the different types of tender? Now, when we are saying contract, then what are the different conditions of contract? Conditions of contract. What are the different conditions of contract? Because when there is any civil engineering or anything, any process is considered, then that process is bound by the contract. That process is bound by the contract. And when that process is bound by the contract means what? There are some rules and regulations. Those rules and regulations is basically called as conditions of contract. So what are the different types of conditions of contract that we are considering at the time of floating that tender? That part, again, we have to consider. Secondly, there are various types of contract like item rate contract, percentage rate contract, work plus constant fee contract. Then nowadays BOT, build, operate and transfer. So there are the number of, so what are the conditions in those contracts, how those contracts are to be floated, how those tenders are to be floated, what is earnest money, what is security deposit, what is liquidated damages, and what is arbitration. All those terminologies we are going to consider in this case. All those terminologies we are going to consider in this case. So this is your second objective, we can say. Third objective, and that is again essential objective, is specification and rate analysis. Specification and rate analysis. Specification and rate analysis. Now, what do you mean by specification? Specification means how any work is to be executed. How any work to be executed. For example, suppose internal plaster. For example, internal plaster. Now, in this case, internal plaster, what thing we have to define in your tender document? Because if you are simply defining do the internal plaster, then contractor can do by any means. So we have to give them the work procedure. We have to give them some guidelines. So those work procedure guidelines are covered under this specification. So what exactly the specification consider? Specification consider the guidelines for work, again methodology, third one is what we can say, amount of material. Now when this, for example, these are the three. Now we are considering the internal plaster. Now internal plaster means inside surface, inner surface of your wall, your to do the plaster. First thing is you required cement and sand. You required cement and sand. So there is a cement, sand. So mixture of this cement and sand is basically called a cement mortar. Mixture is basically called a cement mortar. Now, in this case, how much amount of cement, how much amount of sand? How much amount of cement, how much amount of sand? Suppose in case of plaster, you are considering 1:4. Now, what this exactly 1:4 define? 1:4 defines 1 kg of cement, 4 kg of sand. If you don't define this, then contractor may take 1:6. Contractor may take 1:6. Contractor may take 1:8 because you're not defining the range. How much? So this thing we have to specify in your specification of internal plaster, that cement mortar of 1:4 grade. Second point is thickness. If you are not defining the thickness, then he can do the plastering with 10 mm. He can do the plastering with 8 mm thick. He can do the plastering with, say, suppose this is brickwork. Then this is the internal plaster. Then the thickness is necessary. So in that case, we also define, say, 12 mm internal thick plaster. Now it is compulsion for that contractor to do the 12 mm thick plaster only with 1:4 cement mortar, with 1:4 cement mortar. Secondly, at the time of plastering, we have to do the racking of those brick joints. We have to do the racking of those brick joints. So racking of those brick joints means whatever the brick joints are there, then extra mortar you have to first remove. Extra mortar you have to first remove and then do the plastering, so that that plastering adherence of that plaster with wall surface is proper. Adherence of that plaster with wall surface is proper. So this condition is also defined. Secondly, who will do the curing? Because if you do the plastering, then curing is necessary. So duration of curing is also necessary for 7 days, for 14 days. Secondly, many times, by what method you are going to do the curing? Whether you are sprinkling the water or you are going to have the some honey bag, that jute bags over there, or some another solution you are going to apply, that curing material is also necessary to define. So all this data is given in the specification. All this data is given in the specification. So that specification drafting is necessary. Secondly, on the basis of specification, rates are to be decided. On the basis of specification, the rates are to be decided. Because instead of 1:4, if you go for 1:8, again, there is a profit margin. So therefore, if you are paying the rate of this, but contractor doing this, then contractor do the, what we can say, misleading construction at your construction site. So these are the things, and you can only blame or claim that contractor for this if you have the correct specification with you. So this specification is also necessary. Based on specification, we do the rate analysis. Based on specification, we do the rate analysis. Now, what exactly we do the rate analysis? We calculate number of persons required for that execution. Plaster करने के लिए कितना लोग लगेगा? We calculate the quantity of that 1 square meter, for the surface of 1 square meter, how much amount of cement required, how much amount of sand required. If you are utilizing any kind of admixture, then that quantity of admixture. Then third, we required whether we required any tools, plants for that plastering process. Again, that part we consider. Next, again important part, contractor profit we have to consider, because contractor is not doing free of cost to your work. So contractor profit 10 to 15%. Then some miscellaneous charges are there. Miscellaneous charges means something goes wrong, then we have to redo. Then miscellaneous charges are also necessary. So in this way, we calculate the rate of that particular item. Item means any civil engineering activity which should be executed in your construction projects. Okay. So this thing we are going to do. So again, essential estimates. Now in this estimates, we are also do the road work estimate. We are also doing the canal work estimate in your syllabus. So that those estimates is also there. Detail estimate, approximate estimate, all these things we are going to do. This is very interesting subject. If you generate interest in this subject, then this subject is, there is no necessity to read out any books for the estimating and costing. But yes, for theoretical portion, you have to refer the book. There are B.N. Datta, Chakravarti. List is given in your syllabus. So B.N. Datta is good book. Chakravarti, R.C. Chakravarti is again good book. There is a few more books are there. Rangwala is also good. Chakravarti, Rangwala, and Datta. These are the three books. But again, for the first two units, and whatever the calculation part is there is no necessity to refer any book. Whatever I teach, that is enough. That is enough because we are understanding the concept behind it, and that same concept is given in the book, but in a different way. So in that case, there is no necessity to refer book. In theoretical portion, you may refer. In case of mathematical part also, if you want to refer, you can refer. And if you have any confusion, any doubt, anything related to estimating and costing at any point of time, you can let me know. I'm happy to clear that doubt. And this is again, each person or each layman wants this subject, how much cost we required for the construction of our house. And as an engineer, you are able to let them know this is the cost, this is the probable cost or estimated cost required for the construction of your house. Okay. So this is from my side. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Secondly, my name is Sumit Gite. Secondly, I done my BTech from VNIT, MTech again from VNIT, BTech in Civil, MTech in Construction Management, and I'm pursuing my PhD from IIT Mumbai. Okay, and from 2012, I'm in this college. And this is 8th or 9th time I'm going to teach this estimating and costing. In second shift also for 1 or 2 months, I'm going to take estimating and costing. So this is the first, what exactly we are doing, but this is very interesting subject, calculation subject. Only thing is be ready with calculators and your notebook. Again, at any point of time, I'm asked you to start your video and show me your notes. Okay, so that live thing is there. I can ask any roll number to just tell me the answer, and that roll number has to tell that answer. Otherwise, that will be difficult for that fellow in upcoming internal things. Is it okay? This is only for the benefit of you. Anything you want to ask, you can ask. Hello.
Yes, sir.
सर वो आपने जो टीचर एक असेसमेंट बताया सर, उसके बारे में थोड़ा और बताइए ना कि हमको आप जो
last year teacher assessment is only 10 marks. Now in case of online classes, teacher assessment have the weightage of, I suppose, 30 marks, right?
Yes, sir.
So in that case, what we do? We give one life project. Life project means a set of drawing is given to each group. Each group is comprises of 6 to 7 people or 8 people, whatever, depending upon your class strength. Then that group take a printout of those drawings. Soft copy is provided. Take a printout of those drawings. Read the drawings, understand the drawing, and then start to do the estimate based on that drawing. Means you have to calculate excavation, you have to calculate PCC, you have to calculate RCC for foundation, you have to calculate brick, RCC for column, beam. All this process I will let you understand over here. But when you're working on the live project and working that live project on Excel, then time is safe and more ideas are going to be clear. And side by side, we take interaction with you, group wise, sort of whatever the queries you have faced during the calculation. And also I will ask you some questions so that I will let know whether the people are working properly or in group only 2 people are working and 6 people are not working for this. So there is a complete, and at the end of your life project, we will have the Viva, means you have to do and explain each and everything. This is very good activity. You can take feedback from your previous.
Perfect, sir. Sir, when we are going to start this live project at the end of the semester?
Just give some time, say about 1 month. so that we have to cover some portion of estimates, means building estimates, and then I will share those drawings with you. Okay.
Okay, sir.
If I share those drawings just now, then you're not able to understand what exactly we have to do. But give me some time, uh, up to 10 to 12 lectures. After 10 to 12 lectures, you are in a position to do the estimates,
Okay, sir.
right? And this is again very interesting subject. If you have interest, generate interest, then there is no necessity to refer any book. Only theoretical part you have to refer the book. Is it okay? So first two units are very important, and it is related to direct estimate, estimate of road, estimate of canal, estimate of earthwork and all. So fine. So thank you. And I don't know how you joined that link, but this is the link which is generated through Google link from my side. Okay. So I will ask this thing, why these things are to be happened. And if this thing is persist, then we will see what we will do. Is it okay? Anything else you want to ask? Internal assessment, we will again clarify based on some guidelines from the HOD sir. But remember that those assignments, either group assignments or there is no individual assignment. No one has to write something and submit something. No, it is a group assignment. In case of group assignment, I have also get the time to check your work. Okay. So, okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Leave. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You can leave. Leave the meeting.